Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. I am the old school game snob, and we are getting into some Let's Play Hardcore Sorceress. That's what we're doing here today. Level 6 Sorceress. And what I'm thinking is, if you guys like this kind of video, this, simple Let's Play, just playing some video games and not even working on making builds or doing any sort of thinking, just playing them games. Oh, that's fun. That's fun for me. Hey, I tell you what, I just get to play them games. Video making is fun too, but it takes quite a long time. These last 3 months have been really fun, but also really crazy, really hectic. Not hectic. Hectic's the wrong word, but just like full on. Just like go. Okay, all right. Let me focus on what I'm doing here. Charged Bolt is how I like to roll up a Sorceress. Looks like I have my Rogue, so it looks like I have completed a couple quests so far. I guess I probably could have started at the Cold Plains waypoint. I think I got that. That's okay. I started this character like a week ago. I was going to do like a Let's Play about a week ago, and then I got all busy and distracted with 10 million plus one things. And it wasn't the 10 million things so much as that one extra thing that just slowed me down, took up my time, didn't have time to get into this Let's Play video, but I have been talking about it for a little while. Let's Play Diablo Hardcore Sorceress. And I thought, hey, let's kick things off. So what I'm going to do with this series, if you guys like it, right? If you guys like it. If you don't like it, well, I might not go that far with it, but we'll at least kick one off here. And if you guys like this format, just this simple Let's Play, I'll keep going. I'll just basically level up this entire character all the way to Hell, Hardcore, Hell Sorceress, and beyond until her unfortunate demise, which hopefully will never come. And I'll just keep leveling everything up on video as a part of a series. I won't do any sort of off-camera play. I'll just, go until we get there. That's what we'll do. All right. So I really like the Charged Bolt early on. Lots of nice AoE, area of effect. It's just a fun spell. And it's a fun spell to kick things off. Just because, it's just kind of a fun spell, that's what I like to do. I like to go up the lightning skill tree until it's time for Blizzard, level 24 Blizzard, and then at Blizzard I like to, use Blizzard until it's time for Frozen Orb, and then I'm a huge fan of Frozen Orb through Nightmare difficulty. It's just so fun, such a breeze through Nightmare difficulty. Nightmare difficulty is kind of, it seems to take like a third of the time as normal difficulty, just because Orb is so fast and so fun. So that's the plan, if and when we get there, which we definitely will. Oh, confidence. I haven't been playing hardcore in a long time. I used to only play hardcore, but then ever since the launch of D2R, I figured, hey, you know what, I better make some softcore characters. Whilst during filming there's undoubtedly going to be some mishaps and some unfortunate incidences, like for example the video I did on how to deal with the bugged tomb vipers and getting some gameplay footage there. Well, that wouldn't have been too good with a hardcore character. I probably died like 30 times trying to get that footage and get back to my body, and try to get that footage and get back to my body, and well, maybe not 30, but probably like 20, maybe 10. I can't remember exactly. Enough times that I was close to getting frustrated. Oh yeah. Anyway, here we are. And like I say, it's been a while since I played hardcore. There is a different set of reflexes that you kind of gotta use when you play hardcore. Right? There's certain things that you do when you play softcore that you don't worry about too much, that you don't really do when you play hardcore. And if you get into those bad habits, like I may have gotten into a bit of from playing softcore, those things can actually kill you. For example, running through doors, in dungeons, instead of opening a door, stepping back, sending your spells through them, which is what you would do in hardcore, right? Because most of the time you run through a door, you'll be okay, but it only takes one death in hardcore to end your run. So you run through a door in hardcore, even if you only run into a bad situation on the other end 1% of the time, man, for all the doors you run through, your hardcore character is going to be dead pretty quick. So yeah, there are some habits that you get used to in hardcore, and some bad habits that you develop from only playing softcore. So hopefully my softcore habits from the last 3 months don't show through here. Hopefully I remember the hardcore. Yeah, like I say, for the last 20 years, all I've done is play hardcore. I played softcore once, you know, like 20 years ago. My first character was softcore character, and I think I leveled her up to 85, and then after that, it was all hardcore, 100% of the time, nothing but hardcore. And that's actually kind of still tilted some of my earlier builds when I was getting this YouTube channel started. My sort of hardcore mentality sort of tilted some of my guides and stuff like that, because a lot of what I would talk about was definitely valid in hardcore, but maybe missing certain elements in softcore. And so yeah, I've been kind of catching up on my softcore play. The modality is a little bit different. I'm not going in circles. Stony Field, Cold Plains. Where am I going here? I'm going around in circles. That's alright. We still need to get levels. Still need to level up. There's no big rush here. We're all fine here. Alright. Just shooting our lightning bolts. Killing the bad guys. I should have got some more potions. I'll go get some more potions. I should probably pick up some gold, sellable items, some items that sell for gold. Early on, always good to have stamina potions. Yeah, just run out of stamina so quickly. And especially in hardcore, that can be bad. Oh, I guess I better save some of my precious pennies for 2 mana potions. So poor, so poor. That's okay. That's okay. As long as we have our health and our happiness, we don't need money. That's all we need. All right. So yeah. The last 3 months have been super duper fun, but releasing 2 videos a day, I have found, it takes a bit of time. And you may have noticed that I've kind of slowed down my release schedule this last week or two, as I've been kind of regrouping and recovering and that sort of thing. Where is the way out? Because I was waking up and basically going right to video making, and from there I would spend the next 15 hours, you know, maybe putting together 2 videos. I'd get them scheduled up just in time to pass out, and that went on for like at least 2 months. I don't know why I'm not finding my way here. Oh, I know why. Because we're in the stony field and we're looking for the underground passage. You know what? I'm just jabbing on here, jabbering, and not really paying attention to what the heck I'm doing. So disregard all that. Obviously the underground passage is somewhere in the center of the map, because I haven't run into it yet. Or there it is, right down there. Not the center of the map, but somewhere off the edge, I guess I should say. There we go. Underground passage. Now we're cooking. Now we're getting somewhere. Early game vitality? Yeah, sure. A little bit of early game vitality, because we're playing hardcore. Otherwise, I'd probably go mana, but since we're early game hardcore, a little bit of vitality never hurts. About 100 health or so is nice. It makes quite a big difference. You wouldn't think it would make such a big difference, but it does make quite a big difference. Early on, your defense is your health pool, and that is what your defense is. It is your health pool. Basically, that's it. Basically, give or take. Little frozen armor never hurt anyone either. I have really enough lightning bolts at the moment, and I have so little mana that more lightning bolts are just going to be more mana hungry. There's a nice sellable, a chipped skull, and a chipped sapphire. Actually, you know what? That is exactly what I was looking for. Going to drop that into my hat. Helps with the mana pool. Half tempted to drop the skull in, but nah, it's alright. A ring is good. A ring might be helpful for selling. Gathering some early game gold. Got my microphone USB cable right in the wrong spot here. It keeps getting in the way of my keys. I'm gonna have to make a quick adjustment here. There we go. That's better. All right. Pew 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 pew. But yeah, the YouTube channel has been a lot of fun, and yeah, super duper appreciate all the support, you guys. Thank you for watching. I know I have some more casual viewers and some more dedicated viewers, and I really appreciate all of you, and especially the latter. You guys have been so so cool. Just like, it's been so fun to have a gaming channel and just get to meet up with some folks. I've had the opportunity to jump into a game here and there with some fine folks. Asmro, bro, thank you for the rush. Rush up through. No, this is not where we want to go. That's okay. We'll do a little monster killing. And also for keeping the Discord updated with the latest videos. Also, thank you to the mods who have also been doing a great job with the Discord. am basically hands off in terms when it comes to the Discord. So thank you to our very helpful mods in that regard for making a nice organized, super organized Discord community. Ooh, pew pew pew. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to get the help of a rusher assist just the other day, and have gotten a paladin up to around level 65. I'm about to level him up, and then I'm thinking to put kind of together a budget solo smiter build for smiting some Ubers, and that'll be coming up soon in some future videos. Right, so playing hardcore, one of the things you always want to sacrifice is that one potion slot for rejuve potions, right? You most of the time you don't use them, right? Like 98% of the time you don't use them, but then that other 2% of the time they save your life, and then that's fairly important. But yeah, I definitely love the hardcore play. Just always exciting, Softcore play is also really fun, but and especially when you get to play online Battle.net and multiplayer, that's really fun. But hardcore play is just it's a whole other thing, right? Because you're never really wondering, you never really get to the end of the game. You never really can beat hardcore play, because eventually you'll die, and you'll likely get there far before you ever get a perfectly geared up character. And if the goal was only just to survive, you're probably not going to do that either. But hey, the challenge is just how long can you stay alive, and you only get to make one mistake. Actually, you don't get to make any mistakes. One mistake and you're out. And so that keeps the game very exciting. You're always on the edge. You're paying an extra amount of attention to everything you're doing, and there's just that much extra thrill, right? So I really like, oh hey, faster cast rate is not bad early on. I'll take that. What the hell? I got 2 faster cast rates. Hey, thank you very much, game. That's quite nice. All right. What is the first breakpoint anyways on faster cast? I forget. 1, 2, 3. Well, it definitely got us up at least 1 breakpoint. You know what? I almost never look at such low faster cast rate breakpoints. I don't even know what the first one is. Yeah, that's alright. That's okay. In my humble opinion, the things I don't know are just fine by me. And I can't fault me for not knowing those things. That's the way I look at it. And not everybody may agree with that. Oh yeah. Alright, so a little bit of sometimes you can find the 3-row belt in here. I guess I don't probably have enough strength. Nah, I don't. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for here. I just generally like to check out Charcy, see what she's got. Maybe she's got like a 2-socket armor. That would be okay. Then I can get some more mana gems or health gems in there. That would also be fine. But I do like to get that 3rd row on my potion belt, especially if you have 1 slot dedicated to your rejuve potion. That doesn't leave you with a lot of healing potion slots. Leaves you with very few. Just 2. 2 is 1 off from the least amount you can have, mathematically. So, there you go. Alright. So we're making our way to the dark woods. That's where we're going, to the dark woods. And this is actually one of my my least favorite. That's not least favorite, but definitely one of the first scary moments when you're playing hardcore is the fast tree guy. What's his name? The elite that's always, a unique that's always guarding the tree. I forget what his name is. I'm usually too busy running away from him to catch his name. I was running away so fast. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to catch your name. I was fleeing from my life. Yeah, that is the first scary moment in a hardcore, especially if he gets some very, very fast mods and maybe some other nasty things. That, you know, I don't think I've died to him yet in hardcore, but I have come close a lot of times. So that's that's the first scary moment, I would say. And yeah, you know, barring any bad gameplay decisions. Yeah. A pew pew pew, a zap zap zap, pew 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 pew, zap zappity pew. All right, okay, stamina potion time. Drink that all up. Okay, hang on, a sip of tea here. Earl Grey, my favorite. That's good stuff. Back in the day, when I used to play Diablo, when I was like in my very early 20s, must have been like early 20s, 21, 22, something like that. I would play Diablo basically all day, all night. And at the time, I had actually, initially I was playing, have you guys ever heard of Asheron's Call? It was like the third massively multiplayer online game. There was Ultima Online first, and then there was EverQuest, and then there was Asheron's Call. And somewhere around that point, there was also Diablo that came out, somewhere around that point. And so back in the day, I used to play Asheron's Call. And I remember I used to collect this special shadow armor, is what it was called. And this stuff was so popular at the time, and people were so after it, and it took so long to get, that what I would do, since I, you know, was just kind of a pro, like a pro gamer before there was such thing as a pro gamer, you know, I would gather up this armor in Asheron's Call, and I would sell it on eBay, and it sold for like $500 a suit, right? And it would take, you know, a few days to gather a suit, or a week to gather a suit, or something like that. But that is how I paid my bills as a young computer gaming nerd for about a year. I actually just discovered, you know what, that's so crazy. People are actually paying real money on eBay for these items. And I would go around and I'd gather them, and actually that became my job for like a year. And that was a fun and fine time for a young computer gaming nerd, I tell you what. That was basically like my dream job. I was like, holy smokes, I'm just playing them games, and I'm getting the money, and I just feel like this virtual merchant. I'm doing trades on the trade board, and these trades actually have extra special meaning in real life, because these are actually like my livelihood. Like, how fun is this? I'm having so much fun. But shortly after Asheron's Call sort of came and went, Diablo was the next thing, and for a while there, I was playing Diablo and doing the same thing, doing the eBay thing. I know that might not be popular amongst some of you purists, but back in the day, man, that was how I paid my rent. That's how I paid my bills. And that and a little bit of web design. I was learning web design and website coding and playing Diablo and Asheron's Call and going to eBay. And, you know, I didn't bot or anything like that. I just collected the stuff up myself. I didn't even know about botting. I would just play all day and all night, and collect up items and sell them on eBay. And that was really, really fun. But yeah, I started talking about that topic because, man, back in that time, all I did was play Diablo. I would stay up all day, all night, and I would occasionally go out at 3 or 4 a.m. down to the nearby 7-Eleven, grab like 2 of these massive, super sugary, like coffee type drinks. They were coffee, I think, but they were like probably 33% pure sugar. They're almost like thick like syrup. That's basically what I lived off of, was these massive 7-Eleven coffees just all day long. And Diablo, I'd fall asleep on the couch right in front of my computer, which was what I sat on. I didn't even sit on a chair. I sat on a full-out couch. Not full-out couch, is that the right word? Like just like a full-size couch. That was my computer chair. I don't think that was good for my back in retrospect, but hey, I was 20 and that was fine at the time, or 20-something, I don't know, 22 maybe. Yeah. But yep, now I'm on to the tea these days. Drink way too many pots of coffee as a computer programmer. Go through like 2-3 pots of coffee a day. I used to go down to the Tim Hortons. Have you guys got Tim Hortons in America? I don't know, you probably do. I think it's a kind of a Canadian thing. I'd go down to the Tim Hortons and I'd order 4 of their extra large grande size cups, and I'd be like, yep, I'm getting these from my work, from my job, picking up one for everybody. They all just happen to be exactly the same, you know, with cream, 3 creams each, or whatever the case may be. No, I wasn't actually getting them for my work staff or anything. I was just dragging all 4 of those extra large coffees back, put them in the fridge, and yep, drink coffee all day long. Eventually, I think it fried my nerves a bit, and I switched over to tea, and now I'm onto the tea. And tea's all right by me. Where's our tree buddy, our tree defender buddy? I guess I don't really. Nah, I should rescue Cain. I'm gonna rescue Cain. We gotta rescue Cain. It's the right thing to do. I know you can skip this part, but I just never feel right about skipping the Cain rescue part. Yeah, it makes me sad. So we're gonna rescue Cain. That's what we're gonna do. Somewhere, and hopefully we can find the waypoint here as well. Always nice to pick up waypoints. But finally, it seems like the servers are getting a lot better. Not in terms of how quickly you can join and rejoin games. I know there's still a time delay on that. But in terms of stability, I often just leave the game on day and night. I'll fall asleep. The game will be logged in, and I'll come back the next morning, and I'll still be logged in, standing by the campfire at the road camp or whatever. So the servers seem quite stable these days, and that was actually also what slowed me off of initially creating a hardcore character. Is when the game first launched a couple months ago, we were getting quite a few server crashes and client crashes and various other things. And not only that, here down in Baja where I am now, we had just had a Category 3 hurricane, and where I am right here, we actually ended up being right in the eye of it for a little while. It was the craziest thing. We had like crazy winds. And then they were blowing for like probably 4 or 5 hours, and then all of a sudden it seemed like the hurricane stopped. And I was like, the winds just stopped blowing. That's cool. I guess the hurricane's over. That's good. And I, opened the door, looked outside. It was like the middle of the night. I was like, oh yeah, it's super calm out here now. But what I figure is that must have been the eye of the storm, because about 10 minutes later, the wind started picking up to full speed again, and just blew all on through the rest of the night. So I'm pretty sure, and then I look at the hurricane map later on the next day, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we were right in the eye of the storm. And anyway, here in Baja, and I guess probably anywhere, but after a hurricane goes through, well, power outages become a bit of an issue, because for the next basically month and a half, we were getting power outages. We were without power, I think, for about 2 weeks. And I was basically running a generator the whole time. And here in Baja, man, it's like 40 degrees. It was damn hot, man. Like 40 degrees here in Baja. What is that? That's probably like 100 Fahrenheit in American degrees. And I only know that because I have a good buddy down in Las Vegas and hung out there, and it was damn hot in Las Vegas. So, yep. Anyway, for a while there with the launch of D2R, and this hurricane went through and my power went out. Basically, right as D2R was launching, in some of my earlier videos, man, I'm just sitting in front of my computer, plugged into this generator, this gas-powered generator. Whoa, here we go. Plugged into this gas-powered generator, and, hoping it doesn't kick out or something, right? Whilst I'm recording videos and editing and have don't want to lose my save progress and stuff. Oops, I didn't mean to use my rejuve potion. That is a softcore habit, to use potion slot 1. Definitely a habit I was definitely out of whilst playing hardcore. I just never press potion slot 1. That's always where I keep my rejuve. But that guy wasn't too bad this time. He was alright. I mean, if you ask my rogue, she might have a different story to tell about that. But you can't ask her because she's sleeping. And it's impolite to wake up your rogue whilst she's sleeping. Everybody knows that. That is just not a thing that is well accepted amongst rogues. Yeah, it's just how it is. Okay, so we got this, and now we got to do that, and then do the other thing, and then we should be tickety-boo good to go. But we didn't get the waypoint, which means I don't want to close that town portal. So nobody let me close that town portal. Just if you see me start to do it, just remind me not to do it. which is probably something that would work if I was live streaming. But yep, nope, not doing that. Okay, so let's see. Have I? No, I don't even have telekinesis yet. Oh, I'm such a noob. It's so cute. I'm such a noob. Level 8. Level 8. And, yeah, we'll go a little bit more mana. A little bit more mana here today. Oh, yeah. Alright. So, what are we doing? We're going to go and we're going to rescue Cain. That's what we're up to here today. Take out Issue, named after one of the developers' comically sounding sneeze, from what I hear. There was a developer back in the day of original Diablo who sneezed, and apparently it sounded something like Issue, and thus the name Issue was born for the little fella who I haven't seen around here, but I think he should be here somewhere. Maybe I killed him already. Probably what happened. Issue. Right, okay. Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. We'll get Cain out first, that's what we'll do. Oh, so little mana, so very little mana. I have my quiet clicking mouse going on here today. I've got two mouses exactly the same, but one of them is kind of worn out. Its right mouse button has been used so many times that it's gotten a lot quieter for clicking. So that's my video recording mouse, my quiet clicky mouse. That's what we got going on here today. And hey, I must be running out of things to talk about because I'm telling you about how loud my right mouse button is. If you guys are still watching, thank you. That's very kind. I appreciate it. I also kind of want to tech up for a better potion belt. So I think I'm just going to go into strength here. Get up to like 25 strength. That's what I think I need for the next potion belt. Ooh, and I almost... Oh, and you know what? I have to use my town portal, don't I? I can't go back through that way. Oh, no, I can. Oh, I can. Why did I think I couldn't? I don't remember. Okay, well, okay. Off to the waypoint. And then we'll go back to the Dark Woods and maybe get the waypoint there or continue on to the monastery. That's the plan. A pew, 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 pew. But yeah, I'm thinking to get into some more multiplayer games there for anybody who's keen on that. We might have to hook up on Discord, do some multiplayer. So it's a lot of fun to get into some multiplayer on Diablo. I'm thinking maybe even do some sort of silly things, like what would happen if we did like a 6-player game and everybody was a summon necromancer, right? That would be kind of funny to see. Might blow up and crash our clients, but yep, be probably kind of funny. I was also thinking about, well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you all my secret plans just yet, because it'll be funnier if I actually do them. If they're a surprise, it's good to keep your surprises. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on to the catacombs. Hang on. Sip of tea here. Just look at the trees, admire those nice trees. You know what's funny? Now as I'm getting into game dev a lot more, I'm looking at these trees and I'm thinking, you know what? I think they used speed tree to make these. These look like speed tree trees, which is what a lot of games use to make their trees. And I was like, I recognize some of these trees. I don't know if they actually did or not, but they look a lot like speed trees. Pretty darn sure, actually. And yeah, it's kind of funny when you get into like Unreal Engine development and stuff like that, how you start spotting things in games like for example, you can see how the grass moves there a little bit, how it's like that, right? Like that's not actually any sort of mesh or object moving. That's a material that's actually kind of just wobbling around, right? Like it's a material that's set to animate in a wobbly way, and it makes it look like wind is going through the grass. You know what? I forgot to bind my zoom in key. I kind of like my zoom key, which I call V in my legacy toggle, which is B, short for before and after. Boom, boom. But yeah, you can see how the grass looks like it's blowing in the wind. Yeah, I figured out how to do that, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, all the things you can do when you get into some game dev. Been teaching myself for like the last 6 months, I guess, like getting into learning the actual engine itself. I started up my little game dev company about 1.5 years ago, and have been making some progress. We have released one little mobile game, just kind of a practice game. Check it out, actually. I don't think it has any players yet. It's been in the Google Play Store probably for like 6 months. I don't think anybody's played it yet. I don't think it's been shown anywhere. But it's called Space Rocks. Space Rocks by Werewolven. There's another one actually called Space Rocks in there. But if you want to check it out, it's kind of fun if you have a tablet. And it would be cool to have at least one player play it. This is the role of the indie dev game studio, but it's just kind of a simple little mobile game, just kind of a warm up for my game dev company, my little mini game dev company. But we actually published one, and we've got another one that's actually I think going to be a lot of fun coming up pretty soon. It's getting quite far along, and yeah, so I've been teaching myself Unreal Engine, like the development side of things, for about the last 6 months. But I've been, into 3D modeling and into like making music and audio and sound effects and basically coding and stuff like that, all sorts of other fields related to game dev for many years, but not actually like game dev straight up, like the development part, like working with the C++ code or Unreal Engine blueprints. I have saved that. I've tried it a few times over the last 5 or 10 years or something. I've tried to learn like CryEngine or Unreal Engine or Unity, right? I start out kind of strong, and I'm like, this is cool, and then it gets so confusing and so hard, and I'm like, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to figure out, and I've had to figure out some really hard things. Like I taught myself coding, like PHP coding and JavaScript and stuff like that, just from like forums and stuff back in the day. And so I've learned some pretty challenging things, but when it came to learning Unreal Engine and all the things in that, it was like a whole other level of complexity, and just like staring at the screen for like the entire day or 2 days even to solve the simplest little problem, because when you first learn something you don't even know what questions to ask, and when you know what questions to ask you can find the answers, and you can kind of make sense of things. But when you don't, oops, wrong potion. If you don't know what question to ask, it can be incredibly difficult to figure out technical things. And so it has been a real grind for the last 6 months that I've been teaching myself Unreal Engine. But I'm actually finally at a place where it's starting to click, starting to make sense, starting to be like, oh yeah, that's cool, I can do that. When it starts to get a little bit fun. I'm still very journeyman level. If any of you played Ultima Online, that's how me and my buddy who... You know what? It's funny. I actually met my very best friend playing Ultima Online, 25 years ago. We're still friends today. We talk every single day. I've met him a few times in the real world. Like I say, he's from Las Vegas, as I mentioned earlier. But we actually met playing Ultima Online. We met online just like playing ages ago, and just have been friends ever since. I think I had a point to that. I think I was going somewhere with that, but I forget where it was. Darn it. Okay. That's okay. Game dev. I was talking about game dev. And then something related to something. Oh well. That's okay. We'll kill some demons here. Maybe it'll come back to me. A pew, 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 pew. Do I have a skill point? I always forget to put my skill points in as I'm leveling up, because you really just don't need to always have your skill points maxed out as a early charged bolt sorceress. It is not even necessarily beneficial because of how short you are on mana all the time. So, yep, I often forget, and I know this is some commenters have mentioned in the comments, why haven't you assigned all your stat points? That you're killing me, why? Because you haven't assigned all your stat points. I'm like, I understand, they kind of bug me sitting there too unspent, but at the same time, it can be helpful to leave stat points unassigned as you're leveling up. And this is, I think, a habit from playing Diablo before there was such thing as skill reset. So originally there didn't used to be like reset tokens, and even Akara didn't used to give you resets. Instead, I think she gave you like a rare ring or something like that. And so part of me is still in the habit of playing as though if there were no respecs ever, right? And so for that reason, it can be handy to save your points, because you might pick up a bit of gear earlier on, like a nice potion belt or something that would be like just so nice to have that extra strength. And it would it'd be nice to have a little more health too, a little bit more survivability, but do I really need it, or is it just kind of a little bonus? And so there's a part of me that's still in the habit of playing by the old rules. So, yep, there you go. Some old rules die hard, right? It's pretty much broken, but there's still a fragment of that in there. I think I'm going the wrong way, but you know what? That's okay. We're killing monsters. We're leveling up. It's okay. We're in no hurry to rush through. We're just playing hardcore. We're having fun. We're enjoying the ride. Yeah. That's what we're up to today. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. All right, let's have a little sip of tea here. That's very good. Oh, I love the Earl Grey. Earl Grey with a little bit of rice milk. Really nice. Oh yeah. But yep, I still have a massive list of video ideas. I've been taking a bit of a break, but yep, I'm probably going to find my second or third or fourth wind, or whatever wind I'm on here. Because like I say, publishing 2 videos a day, man, it was legitimately taking about 15 hours. Basically wake up, start making videos, or come up with an idea, gather up, all of the visual aids, get into Hero Editor, figure out which ones need to be shown, because it's nice to have visual aids. If you're going to do a Horadric Cube recipe, you can just tell about it, but it makes a much nicer video to actually have the visual aids to show, this is this and that is that. It's just nicer, right? And initially, as I started, as I was getting into this, and before the channel started picking up, I was just like, whatever, and I just threw whatever out there, right? Because when you have no audience, it doesn't matter. But then as you guys started subscribing and the views started coming in, the OCD kind of perfectionist of me kind of kicked in. And from that point, I was like, well, this would be a little bit better if I just did this, or this would be a little better if I just did that. And those little details, they add on hours and hours and hours. So where initially I was pumping out 5 videos in, 3 hours or something like that, if I was just kind of like winging it off the cuff, suddenly that became like 2 videos in 15 hours, and I think my Lightning Javazon build actually took about 20 hours. And that is because I got partway through that and I realized I had made a mistake, and I had to re-premise the whole thing. Actually, I was not aware that physical damage reduction had a cap of 50%. I knew it had a cap of 50% in PvP, but I thought it was only in PvP, and so I oversighted that, and I was like, oh shit, this is PVM too. I was like, that changes everything. I've got to respec this entire guide, because it was really based around that. And that sort of premise, I was like, well, shoot. It's funny the things you can miss, though, in this game, right? Because sometimes, the indicators aren't exactly helpful. You get this data or that data, and you think there's nothing to tell you otherwise. And so if you don't just know, if you haven't done it for, or made the mistake once before, or looked it up specifically, there's no real way to know. And as a mostly always Sorceress player, some things don't come up. When you're almost always playing Sorceress hardcore, some things didn't come up for a lot of other playstyles. And so I've had to brush up here and there on things I thought I knew, and that's also kind of how you can get things wrong, right? When you think you know something, you don't bother to check on it, right? And so initially some of my first videos were like, I thought I knew this, but no, it turns out I had that mixed up or something like that, right? And so since I started publishing a few videos, I noticed like, oh shit, I did get a couple things wrong there. And since then, I have been, basically questioning everything I thought I knew, double-checking, triple-checking multiple sources. And so sometimes the research, because here's the thing, when you go and you research on the internet, there's a lot of people who also think they know, but are also incorrect, right? And so you can go and look for confirmation of things on really minutia details, and that 50% damage reduction is an easy one, but there's much more complicated examples than that, things that are not as easy to confirm. And you get a lot of contrasting information, and so you really have to dig a lot through what is 20 years of ancient web history to really confirm that this is indeed that, or that is indeed the other thing. Because yeah, man, it's no good to get things wrong, and I have definitely got some things wrong in terms of some of my facts, and those are usually from oversights on things I thought I knew, but had mixed up the whole time. But I do believe that at this point my facts are getting a whole lot better. Hope you guys agree with that. Like I say, some of the pre-D2R videos that I was putting out were just kind of rushed, just like whatever, I wasn't getting traffic anyway, I was just throwing some stuff out there to see if anything stuck, right? And sure enough, some stuff started to stick. It's like, okay, well, I better start quantifying all the things that I think I know, better start confirming them. And when you like I say, get into confirming things, even if you're pretty sure, it's nice to confirm. And that research can sometimes take hours and hours just to get a definitive answer, or at least one that seems to be good enough. Like I say, with so many opinions out there and so many thoughts on different things, and so many, ideas that are actually wrong out there, and different forum posts, different websites that, places that actually do get the information wrong. Because like I say, this game, as wonderful and beautiful as it is, had a lot of hidden things about it that were not anywhere in any instruction manual. And somehow miraculously over the years, the players have figured out all these details. But yeah, it's not for the availability of all of those details just being up in front and in your face, right? See, look what I just did there. That is a softcore mistake. I ran through the door as I opened it up. That is just a reflex. And that is an important thing to train out. If you haven't played hardcore before, or you get into hardcore, you don't run through doors when you first open them. You open the door and you step back, and then you start shooting spells through, ideally, and see what dies. So yeah, that's how you do it. Alright, oh yeah. Okay, mana potions. I know there will be nothing on that armor stat, but those are some of my favorite things to click on. Least favorite things to click on? Barrels and crates. Most favorite things? Armor stands. Alright. Okay. Rogie girl, you do the rest. I'm just going to have a sip of tea here. You just keep me alive. I'll have my sip of tea. Alright, very well done. Oh, you know what? I could probably give her a little sapphire. Or do I want to save that for myself? Yeah, you know what? She's not going to be that helpful with it. A little more health is always good. And what's this now? Ice Blast and Firebolt. Not really helpful. Okay, alright. Moving on. But yeah, my current project in softcore is actually rolling up. I don't know if you all saw my latest, one of my later builds, the 200% faster cast rate Nova Stomp Sorceress is a build that I always knew about but never really fully explored until recently, and was really surprised by how much fun it was to play. And even though I've always loved lightning, Frozen Orb was my first love in terms of spells, and then after that, I was really into lightning and chain lightning, and then I actually really got into Blizzard. And now I tried that the Nova Stomp, and I'm like, damn, this is so fun. It's so fast paced, and it's just like, it's so fun. So now I really want a Nova Stomp Sorceress. Unfortunately, it is very, 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 very expensive. You need griffins, you need like burr, ist, something, I forget. And yeah, you need a lot of stuff to make a top end Nova Stomp Sorceress. And so that is my goal in softcore, is to somehow acquire the wealth to get that fun, super fun Nova Stomp Sorceress. That build seemed moderately popular, but if you didn't initially think it looked that cool and you like playing Sorceress, I would suggest giving it a try. It is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought, you know, like I say, I thought Frozen Orb was the thing I love. No, Chain Lightning is the thing I love. No, this Blizzard is absolutely kicking ass and taking names. But then, you know, Nova Stomp, like, shit, this is fun, man. This is so fun. It's just so fast paced. Like, zoom, 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 pew, 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 pew. That's how it would sound effect wise, if sound effects were done really badly by a guy just making sound effects with his mouth. That was a spot on impression of how Nova sounds. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I think 25 strength is enough at the moment. 100 life is pretty good thanks to those nice ruby gems. I'm just going to go a little more energy at this point. And I'm going to go with a little more charge bolt. That's what we're going to do. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out my Gods Unchained channel, that's actually where I'm going to be covering a lot of crypto gaming, even though, according to my latest poll, a lot of you don't know what crypto gaming really is. And I think 8% of you thought crypto gaming was like, hey, this is cool, or something coming up here, which is also my opinion. Like, crypto gaming has a lot of potential to be really, really cool as we get into the coming metaverse and how that's going to shape up in terms of like VR gaming and, you know, just new types of gaming experience, Ready Player One type stuff, right? Like that could happen pretty soon, and that would be interesting. Basically, your Star Trek holodeck. We're getting closer to that, and man, oh man, that's one. You know, if we get to something like that, the face of gaming is going to be such an entertainment medium like we've never seen before. I don't know when we're going to get there, but I have a feeling it might be sooner than we think. Maybe not full on like Star Trek holodecks or anything, but I bet you a pretty cool VR, you know, gaming experience is coming up. And I've done quite a bit of VR exploration myself. I've, you know, played a few games like, what was it, Pirate Trainer or something like that. And just like, I've explored quite a few of them. And the thing is, they're really cool. Like, if you guys haven't tried VR, it's surprisingly realistic. Not realistic in terms of everything looks real, but you feel like you're in a new world. And I actually learned why that is. It's because our brain can't really distinguish the difference between the sensory input of something that's coming through like VR projection into our eyes and the real world. So if you see something in VR like coming right at you, right? Say you have like a baseball or something like coming right at you, you're whoa, hang on, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm gonna just not die here. I'm gonna get my rogue back. I want to play it safe. You can always tell by how quickly your mercenary dies just how dangerous the mods on a monster are, and that's a good tip for hardcore play. If your mercenary dies like that, bugger off and regroup, because chances are that you don't want to face that thing head on. You want to put some caution into the equation. But yeah, in terms of VR, our nervous system reacts to sort of our visual and auditory stimulus, even if that's coming from something virtual. So when you're going down a roller coaster or something like that in VR, you will feel the sensation in your body of, whoa, damn, man, that's not cool. Or you'll feel the sensation of wanting to dodge out of the way of a baseball that might be flying at you or something like that, right? Or your hand might instinctively kind of want to go up to catch it, and it might actually do that because there's a nervous system component to our audio and visual stimulus, and that is why VR is really interesting, because it actually triggers the sensations in our body in a very similar way as the real life does, right? So that's really cool. I think VR gaming, VR experiences are going to become something very cool. I think the major obstacle right now in VR gaming is just how bulky and clunky the headsets are, and just like having to put them on on those big heavy headsets and whatever else. If those were as comfortable to wear as a pair of sunglasses and didn't require a lot of technical stuff to set up or whatever, I have a feeling that VR would be a lot more adopted already. And also the other problem with VR currently is that the resolution in VR still kind of looks like you're kind of like looking through a screen door. Not really, like things look really good, but also you don't, in real life you don't see pixels in the air, right? If you look at the wall, you don't see pixels, or whatever. If you look at your hand, you don't see pixels. But in VR, you do sort of see pixels if you look closely. And so resolution is the equation in that. So if you have very high resolution VR eyepieces, then what you're looking at looks more and more real. And apparently some of the pro high-end, like $10,000 VR units that are just kind of prototypes or whatever right now can actually come very close to almost not displaying any pixels. And apparently the experience is very, very convincing, like clear enough that you can basically use VR headsets as almost like a replacement for your monitor. Like you can go in and set up your virtual workspace in VR, and the text is apparently clear enough to read. Now I haven't tried one of those yet, but that's what I hear on some of these VR YouTube channels that I follow. And so I think VR experiences, VR gaming, and the whole metaverse and cryptocurrencies are, I dare say, going to be an interesting role in that, in terms of making like the virtual world ownable. You know, like up until recently, up until cryptocurrencies and NFTs and stuff like that, you couldn't really own anything digital, which is like something that's kind of new and just kind of coming out, and it kind of changes the face of what we see as having value or what we give value to. I won't ramble into that too much, because like I know that most of my audience here isn't too familiar with NFTs or crypto gaming and stuff like that, and some of you, I've noticed, even very much dislike the idea, so I'm not going to get into that too much today. But for me, man, it is super intriguing. And yeah, as a game dev, I'm just really intrigued by the potential of gaming, of, let's say, the potential of the type of entertainment that we're going to get to experience in the future. Right? Like sitting in front of our computers and playing games is really fun, but the types of entertainment experiences that could be coming in the future could be really cool. I dare say they might replace going outside and having any sort of life whatsoever, which might be its own problem, you know, its own unfortunate degradation of the human civilization. But hey, it could be a lot of fun too. It probably, you know, that's the thing, right? Things like things that are kind of degrading society in a way also sort of create a different society, right? Like everybody's stuck on their phones. People don't, you know, necessarily socialize as much as they do, or talk on the phone, or use their voices. It's text, and a lot of this. And it's you could look at that as sort of a degradation of a certain branch, certain aspect of society that was. But it also creates a new society too, a different society. And I'm not going to say one's better than the other. There are definitely pros and cons to every situation, and I think that sort of discussion goes out of the scope of some Diablo playing here today, which is what we're doing. We'll get back into the game. That's what we'll do. We'll just get back into the talking about kicking of barrels. Look, I saw some barrels right out there. There was a barrel. Kick that barrel. That was fun. Nothing in it, but it could have been, but wasn't. But hey, you never know. Man, oh man, this game though. This game has accomplished something incredible in terms of keeping its players addicted and even wanting to come back to it after 20 years, right? There's just something to the excitement of finding really sweet loot. And, you know, runes and leveling up characters and having all and like I say, being able to play a game for 20 years and even play a lot of it, you know, and I played a lot of it and still not know things. You know, like I talked to a lot of people, and I myself was included in this example, like only hard points count to synergies. I didn't know that. I've known it for a while now, but there was a time when I was like, what? Really? that changes everything. And I keep talking to, you know, other players who are like, what? Wait, the only hard points count? I'm like, yeah, apparently so, right? And so it's interesting how you can play a game like Diablo for so long and actually be really good at it and know like a lot of things and have like all of the routes, you know, known off by heart and know a lot of things, but miss out on certain details. And certain little like, for example, the drinking multiple antidote potions and cold resist or thawing potions. I actually never knew that you could stack those. Like I thought, you know, you drink one and then you drink another once it ran out. I didn't know that if you drank 10 in a row, it would stack up the duration, right? I was kind of compiling a tip video. I'm like, really? That you can do that? I didn't know that, because I mean, unless you're really looking for every detail, you don't necessarily notice those things. And it's interesting how a game like Diablo just has so many nuances to it, and you can play a game for so long and still be discovering new things. And that's just my point, is that it really speaks to the depth of gameplay that the developers have coded into this in creating a game that just continues to be fun for so many years, and that you can play over and over and over again, essentially playing the same maps over and over and over again, but still having a different type of fun each time around. It's remarkable. What they've done with Diablo is absolutely remarkable. It's no wonder this game is such a hit. It's no wonder that Diablo Resurrected has become such a revitalization of the game, and it really has. Like, there's so much interest and attention for it, and there's no, greater, well, there's maybe greater proof, but one absolutely solid proof of that is just how much, like, for example, the Old School GameSnob channel blew up when I started putting out Diablo content. It's because there was so much interest in this topic, right? And that just sort of speaks to how popular and how beloved this game is by its players. And interestingly enough, I think something like 65% of players, and I like doing polls, right? So some of these stats I'm throwing at you are from the polls from the Old School GameSnob channel, but 65% of players, I think, give or take, are returning old players, which is nice. That's a fairly major percentage. That's a lot of people coming back for the old classic game that they loved from 20 years ago. Oh yeah, well, where are we? Jail level 3. Have a sip of tea here. Alright. Anyway, this is kind of my first video of rambling on off the cuff. Hopefully you guys are staying reasonably entertained. If you're still here, I'm going to assume you either fell asleep with this video on, which works for me. That counts to view time metrics, which is what it's all about. I appreciate anybody who falls asleep to my videos. That really works in favor of YouTube's algorithm. Or you're actually still with me, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. That's really cool. Really cool. Really cool to just be being able to connect with other D2 players in this sort of way. It's really novel for me. Really interesting. I've always kind of been one of those types of players who loves to play multiplayer, but plays it by himself. That's kind of been my MO for pretty much as much as I've ever played massively multiplayer online games and stuff like that. I will play multiplayer because I like the idea of there being other people in the world, but for the most part, I just do my own thing, right? So I'm kind of the multiplayer soloist. It's kind of a, what is the word? Oxymoron or something like that. I don't know if that's quite the right description, but something like an oxymoron. The multiplayer soloist or something like that, right? But yeah, so it's been really fun to connect with D2 players, and just get into the community more, because I tend to just focus on my own thing, have so much fun just doing my own thing, that I think eventually I'm going to get around to getting into a guild or hanging out with people more, and I end up just kind of not getting around to it because I just kind of have fun doing my own thing. So kind of that way usually. So it's been fun to experience the opposite of that, so to speak. Oh yeah, anyway, alright, rock and roll. So we are in jail level 3, making our way down to Andariel. The goal here, use the rejuve potion again. That is, like I say, softcore habits kicking in. Oh, I got some tougher wraiths here. Oh, rejuve potion, I'll take that. Chipped topaz, that'll be good for my mercenary. I need a little bit of mana potions. I got no mana. Oh, there's one. I saw one. There we go. That'll work. And you there, roguey girl, we're going to give you one of these. And actually, I guess I could have given you a red one too. But that's alright. That'll work. Just make her a little tougher, a little bit more pew-pewy. I need a key, because it's locked. Can't get in without a key. Alright, okay, we're closing on the endgame of Act 1. And for those of you who didn't catch my one of my tips video, Andariel now, apparently, from what I can figure, is always quest bugged, meaning that she always has her higher chance of dropping loot. Now that may be old news, but in case you missed that, well, that's a thing. So, we don't need to quest bug Andariel anymore. She's always quest bugged. These things can be problematic. Yikes. Like I say, when the it's almost like your canary in the coal shaft or whatever it is. Your mercenaries, your little canary in the coal shaft. If she dies instantly, there could be a problem. Yeah, and there is a problem. I'm going to need some more mana potions here. La 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 la. Right, so grab some of those and some of these, and we'll sell that, and we'll cold resist. Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. I'll keep on that one. And yeah, that's what we're looking like. Something like that. That's what we'll do. Oh, actually, a couple more potions. You know what? I'm actually going to check if there happens to be a 3-row belt available. That would be very, very nice. No, not yet. And I don't feel like running back and forth until I get one. Not that important, but would be nice if it happened to be there. Alright, here we go, up against these tough minion tainted. We've got a fairly tough group. These guys can kill you, you know. If you don't play cautiously, these guys can kill you. And that's the fun thing about hardcore. You know, softcore you just plow through. Softcore or hardcore, you calculate. You know, you calculate your moves. If it takes, you know, an extra 5 or, you know, levels or whatever the case may be to be ready to face Andariel, you put in the time and you get those extra 5 levels or whatever. Yeah, this is a tough dude. Alright. Rejuvenation potions are good. Healing potions, I'll take those, and that'll be fine. Okay, and we lost our rogue again, so we'll go and get her back. Alright, moving on. Kinda need more mana potions here. Just so mana potion hungry. I think it might be time actually for a little more energy. Oh, right, but yeah, what I was going to say. For those of you who haven't, who like card games, if you like card games, check out my other channel, Game Snob Unchained, where I'm just playing Gods Unchained. It's a very fun game, like Magic the Gathering. And I never played Magic the Gathering, and I never played Hearthstone, because I'm like, why would people play card games? These seem lame. Wasn't my thing. My girlfriend got me to try this one because she was really into crypto. I was like, that seems kind of scammy. Don't spend any actual money on that. She's like, I'm just going to spend a little. I'm like, okay, I guess. And then she's like, you should play too. And I was like, okay, well, since you're playing, it would be kind of fun just to have like a game we like to play together, since she's not a gamer at all. But she got into this one and actually was just playing it basically every day for a month. I would, you know, wake up in the early afternoon and hear the sounds of Gods Unchained going. I was like, you're still playing that, hey? So I was like, okay, finally I gave it a try with her, and she kind of taught me the ropes. And I ended up getting like pretty hooked. It's actually really fun. And there's kind of a smallish community right now, but I think that once people start to discover this game, it's going to become very, very popular. That's my humble opinion, just based on how I took to it. And, you know, like I say, this channel is old school game snob because I have a hard time finding games that I like. But because of how I took to this one, and I'm still like really into it now, like a year later, and I've, you know, I spent more money than I care to admit on cards, just because, you know, as you play more and more, it can be fun to collect interesting cards to create interesting deck combos. And of course, you don't need to, because as you play this game, you're actually given cards that actually have value. And you can actually sell those cards if you want to, and actually make money just from playing. Not a huge amount, but that's the thing. You don't actually have to buy the cards. That being said, for me, I just got so into it that I just started, you know, buying cards, and before I knew it, I had spent kind of a silly amount of money on cards. But you know what? It's still really fun. And the funny thing actually is that those cards that I bought like 8 months ago, when I kind of started getting into it, those cards have like for the most part 3, 4, 5x'd in value. So they, I could actually sell those. So those cards actually were not just a waste of money or just me like getting obsessed with the game and spending a bunch of money on it. They actually are currently sitting at a tidy profit. So hey, that's the cool thing about crypto gaming, right? If the game is really fun and you really like it, and it also happens to have like a collectible component to it, and then your hobby and your habit and your pastime actually becomes something that earns money too, that's just cherry on top material right there. Because yeah, myself, I would play it just for the fun of it. But the fact that it also has this collectible component is just like, well, that's really neat. Yeah, anyway, I just finished watching like a 10-hour competition for Gods Unchained. Apparently it's been going on for like the last 6 months. I was not a part of it because I am actually a mythic ranked player at this point, but I am not top level. I'm not a best of the best sort of mythic ranked player. I'm just kind of like into the beginning stages of the top tier, as it were. So yeah, it wasn't a part of the tournament or anything like that. And plus, I was way too busy making Diablo videos to do something like that. But I just finished watching like a 10-hour tournament live stream over the course of the last couple of days. I broke it up into few-hour sessions. But yeah, man, like I say, it's a pretty small community comparatively to something like Hearthstone or something like that. But the players who are into it, man, the players that are into it are really into it. And I actually just introduced it to my buddy who I met in Vegas, who I was telling you about, who I initially met playing Ultima Online, and he resisted playing for a long time. And I finally got him to play last night. He got into it, and all he's been doing for like the last day is sending me screenshots of the games he's been playing and asking questions. Like he just got hooked in like the last 10 hours. I was like, oh shit, see, I've been telling you, you should try this one will hook you. And he's like, yeah, nah, right? and then I just grabbed him. I was like, I told you so. Oh yeah. Anyway, wanted to do fire damage won't do any good for me. Not good for me, good for someone else perhaps, but not for me. Oh, I do have telekinesis, but I don't have it bound to my key. That's alright, there we go. Whoa. Yeah, wouldn't want to save an exit right there, that would have been bad. Alright. Whoa, hey, remember what I was telling you about running through doors as a reflex? That is, like I say, that's one of the reflexes that'll get you killed. Luckily, I got out of the way fast enough because those are champion spiders. I believe. Champions, yeah, they are champions. Yep. You don't want to get into the middle of stuff. Some stuff will take you down in a second. And that's basically how hardcore deaths occur. If you know what to watch out for the most part, you can avoid it until you do something stupid like run through a door, which is on the basically on the no-no list, right? You never run through the door. It doesn't matter how strong your character starts to get, you never run through the door. And there's certain other things you never do. You never ever get too comfortable. Even though your character might have like a 92% or 91% energy shield damage reduction and like 75 to all resist and all this stuff, you never get comfortable because there's always something that you can run into that has an array of special modifiers. I mean, a unique that spawn maybe by another unique that also has some special modifiers, and they share modifiers, and you get basically one-shotted out of nowhere. And so if you know that can happen, you can always watch out for it and use your reflexes to keep you alive. But if you ever get comfortable and just like, oh yeah, I'm so tough, nothing can touch me, which is often the case, but if you play hardcore that way, something's going to come out of the blue and surprise you, and that'll be it. Oh, it looks like we missed the waypoint, but that's okay because dying is not an option in this game. There's no running back to your body if you don't kill Andariel the first time. So it doesn't really matter. We're not coming back to Act 1 again. We'll come back maybe to Nightmare difficulty to hunt for the Stone of Jordan on Andariel, but we won't come back to normal difficulty. So I do not need that waypoint. I do not want it. I do not need it. Bum, 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 bum. But look at that shit. I just did that shit again. Bad softcore reflexes. It's not good. I'm gonna have to break that. Yep. Oh, I drank my potion again. My rejuve potion. It's all muscle memory. And I was pretty sure this was going to happen. I was pretty sure that my muscle memory was going to be tuned to softcore, but hopefully I can stay alive long enough to untune those softcore play reflexes and yeah, and not die. Oh yeah, if you guys like this live stream, I don't know, maybe we'd do the next one with a small group of hardcore characters who are around the same level. Maybe that might be kind of fun. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Like I say, this is different from my usual format, and the thing with YouTube is that it's all thumbnail, it's all title, it's all whether there's like sort of a trendingness to the video that you upload. Like you guys love runes. I've noticed that you love rune-related videos. Those videos get like 200,000 views, whereas some other videos get like 10,000 views or something like that, right? So there's a huge difference in what type of video you upload, and it really doesn't have all that much to do with how many subscribers you have. Although that helps a little, and that definitely gets it out there to the more let's say avid fans. And like I say, I super duper appreciate you guys. That sort of your sort of core fans. And then beyond that, it really has less to do with how many subscribers you have. And more to do with how trending your video is. So in terms of uploading this Let's Play video, I have no idea if you guys are going to enjoy this format or not. If it ends up getting, hardly any views because it doesn't have the right clickbait or, trending topic, or how to find runes in an hour or something like that. Those sort of ones that just get the clicks and get the views. It might not be a format that works, but if it does, if this Let's Play format works, then I would have a heck of a fun time making more of these, because I just get to play the game. That's fun. That's just fun. And it might be fun to do some of these hardcore Let's Plays with you guys. If you're rolling up a similar level hardcore character, it would be fun to do some multiplayer Let's Play. That might be what we do next, if this format works at all. So yeah. Oh yeah. These guys are kind of toughies. Not enough mana. Oh, there's where we're headed. Level 4. Oh. Level 4. I do not believe that I brought enough mana potions to do the job here. A very thirsty sorceress likes her mana potions. Alright, we'll load up on enough mana potions here to face Andariel. And while we're at it, you know what? We might as well stack the odds in our favor with some poison resist potions, because this is hardcore. Why not, right? We tech up for the worst case scenario. That's what we do. Pew 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 pew. Oh yeah, I got confused where we were for a minute there. We're already at level 4. That's where we are. That's where we're going. Or no, that's where we are. So we're there. Right. Pew 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 pew. Okay. Okay, alright, okay, well, let's get those antidote potions in. Nice 55 poison resist, that'll help a bit. Oh, oops. Wrong button. And you know what? I'm just going to do the ring around the rosy method here. Just do a little pew pew pew. This might take a little while. Charged bolt, a little bit slow on Andariel. Especially if we're doing ring around the rosy and she's only getting hit by a few of them. Yeah, keep an eye on stamina. And yep, make sure we don't run out of stamina. We don't want to get caught. And let's see, I'm going to need a few more potions. Stamina potion. Oops, hat, don't need that. That's alright. No, I'm just going to click that so I don't accidentally keep clicking it. And back to ring around the rosy. Do 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 do. Around the rosy, around and around we go. Whoa! Ouch! The narration has gone quiet as I pay close attention to what the hell I'm doing here. Andariel can, yeah, hit pretty good for my sissy little sorceress. Watching that stamina. Keep that up. Alright, almost there. I do not know where she finds time to drink so many health and stamina potions right in the middle of a battle with a devil, you know, as it were, or a demon, as it is. But hey, she's an amazing, amazing lady, this sorceress. She can do all sorts of things. Alright, almost there. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Okay, I'll grab a little bit of that. Take some of this, some of that, some of this. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Stand in the fire. Oh, the rubies are nice. Nice big amount of health from one of those. And you know what? I'm just going to do a little bit of selly, ID, and get some gold. 5 to mana. That's not going to be too good. Don't need that. Actually, you know what? My inventory isn't even that full. I'm just going to go back and grab the other bits. Or rather one other bit, because I don't remember what this axe is now. I don't think it's going to be any good for me, but hey, let's just see. Death Spade, alright. Yeah. No, I don't think that'll work. Hey, okay, hey, you know what? We're going to do Act 2 in Let's Play Part 2, assuming that you guys like this format of video. And that is the end of this one. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Alright.